Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the Minaal Rolltop backpack, which is an interesting addition to their current lineup of bags. In general, I'm not always a huge fan of Rolltop bags, but I was a very big fan of Minaal's carry-on and daily bag 3.0. They have some of the best laptop protection of any bags on the market, very well built, and I just really like Minaal's, focus on keeping things really minimal, simple, functional. And so it seems like a lot of those elements have made their way over to the Rolltop bag, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance here feels sleeker and more modern than the simpler look of Minaal's Daily Bag 3.0. It's still fairly minimal and clean. With Rolltop bags, you can sometimes have an appearance that is a little bit more technical or just busy, and then you can also have some pretty fashionable looking roll tops. This one leans a little bit more towards the stylish side in my opinion. There's not a whole lot going on. The roll top itself is pretty subtle, so it's a versatile look, although I still lean a little bit more towards the super minimal look of the Daily Bag 3.0. I can definitely see how this will appeal to people that want maybe a little bit more style. This is going to look great in an urban setting, for commuting, for traveling, so it's going to blend in really well into a lot of different environments. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. This exterior fabric is a custom 600D polyester that feels like it's going to hold up well to rougher usage, provide a decent amount of weather resistance, and it helps keep the weight of the bag pretty low. It comes in at under 2 pounds, which is, really nice. And this fabric feels a little bit different than the one that's on the Daily Bag. I don't know, it just feels a little smoother. I don't know if it's maybe not blended with the yarn in the way that fabric was. Regardless, it has held up well so far. This is offered in a black colorway, and I'm glad to see that it hasn't yet attracted a ton of lint or dust or pet hair. That was one of the things that I really liked about the fabric on the Daily Bag and the carry-on bag. So I'll keep an eye on that, but so far it's been a really great experience. And then beyond that, with the roll top closure, you generally have a pretty good amount of protection from the elements, and then you have some very smooth working reverse coil YKK zippers all throughout with the custom Minaal zipper pulls. Continuing along the outside of the bag, Minaal keeps things pretty simple. There's no external water bottle pockets, there's no side handles or compression straps or anything like that. You do have a very nice carrying handle at the top. It's got this really comfortable seatbelt-like material, so it feels like it's going to hold up well. Very comfortable to hold. And then taking a look at the capacity, the bag comes in at about 15 liters. So, it's a little bit more of a compact EDC size, a little smaller than what I typically like to use, but it is able to hold a surprising amount given the compact and slimmer form factor. Even when it's packed out, it manages to maintain a very slim profile, which hugs your back nicely, making it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping on public transit, and carrying on to pretty much any domestic or international airline. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. Fairly similar straps to what you'll find on the Daily Bag 3.0, so they have a good amount of padding for the size and weight of the bag. The padding is fairly thin. It's not the most robust, but it just kind of makes sense with the form factor of the bag. And it's a really soft, almost gel-like padding, which feels great. On the inside, you have a really soft material, maybe not as breathable as something like air mesh, as I tend to like on my straps, but still haven't noticed any issues. You have a good width on the straps. It doesn't feel like the bag is digging into my shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. And then you have a couple of loops on the shoulder straps that you can use to clip on accessories, maybe hang your sunglasses. And then you have an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. It also has a safety whistle, and one of the cool things about this is you can actually hide these straps away. You have these good buckles here at the bottom, very easy to quickly release the straps if you want to just have a cleaner overall look. You also have some strap management here, which I know people like to see to just maintain a cleaner overall appearance. You can release the buckles. There is a little snap closure at the top. You can hide these away behind that area. So pretty simple to convert the bag when you want to. And then moving into the back paneling, again, very similar sort of padding to what we've seen in the Daily Bag 3.0, so it's well distributed throughout the back. This was improved from the original version of the Daily Bag, and so glad to see that carried through here. You have a little bit of elevation to create these slight air channels here. Again, not a ton as far as the harness here, but that's generally been sort of the style with Minaal's bags. I think, again, it works well with the size and the weight. So, you know, although it's not the same as maybe some of the air backpacks that I'm used to wearing that, you know, have the really robust air mesh padding, so far, you know, this has felt pretty good even as I've been wearing it for a longer period of time, just because it really doesn't get that heavy. And then while we're on the back paneling, one nice thing here is you have a little hidden pocket for something that's a little bit more sensitive. If you want to store maybe some extra cash, passport. I have a notebook in here at the moment, as well as my wallet. And so you can see that there is more than enough space for a couple of things in there, maybe even your phone. Again, because this rests against your back, just gives you a little bit more protection. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag keeps things pretty simple. You do have two quick access pockets on the front. And again, these have some really nice zippers. You have a zipper garage as well on these to just give you a nice amount of protection. And these offer a pretty good amount of space. You can kind of see the outline of the size here, so it's pretty tall. Even though they're not the most voluminous pockets, they're still going to be able to handle something a little bit bulkier, which is nice. And so in this one here, I have my mouse, and then I also have my AirPods. And on the inside of these pockets, you have a zippered mesh pocket to just provide a little bit of separation if you want to organize some stuff out. If you have some smaller items, in my case, I just actually placed cable and wall adapter for my phone and my tablet if I'm carrying it. So again, simple but very effective. And then on the other side, same size, same style, you again have the dual compartment layout, so you have the mesh zippered area on the inside. I don't have anything stored in here at the moment, and then I use this compartment to actually hold my sunglasses with their case. And you can see that that actually ends up fitting pretty well. You know, there's still some space at the top, so you could probably use this to store maybe a smaller water bottle or an umbrella if you wanted to use one of these for that. So even though they're pretty simple, I really like the amount of space and the items that they're able to handle. And then beyond that, you just have the main compartment. And so this was designed with this zipper along the front to allow you to access the main area without having to undo the roll top. This is, however, a roll top bag, so I'll go ahead and talk about that. It's interesting as a roll top. One of the things that has been my experience with many roll top bags is that you have maybe some additional kind of flexibility with the volume. And here I don't think that you can actually close it in any way besides, you know, rolling it up. You kind of have these two folds here that take you to the magnetic buckles, which do work very well. They feel secure and they're easy to release. You know, we've seen these buckles on a lot of different bags and they've always kind of held up well. I think it's a pretty smooth opening, better than many of the other roll top implementations that I've interacted with, which has made this nice to use. It's great that you do have the option to just open it from the front to get a little bit more visibility. One thing I noticed is that if you zip this all the way up, it can be a little tricky to access the zipper pull. You can get there, but you know, there were a couple of times where I kind of had to dig for it, so you want to keep that in mind. And then because this is a roll top, you can actually, you know, just use this as a top loader. You can reach down, grab what you need. The inner lining here is not, you know, super bright or high contrast. It is, you know, something that's going to be tricky to see down into the bottom of the bag if you're just trying to grab something from the top. But my headphones are one of the things that's always near there, so great to just be able to grab it without worrying about all my stuff opening up from this front zipper here. And so I'll go ahead and open this so you can have a little bit more visibility into the main area of the bag. It has a pretty simple layout overall. Again, at 15 liters is a little more compact than many of the bags that I tend to use that are more in the 20 to 24 liter range, but I was still able to hold, you know, kind of my more minimal EDC setup. I don't have all the same pouches that I would typically carry. Not that I wouldn't have been able to fit another pouch in here, but it just started to get a little bit tight, particularly with some of these bulkier items like my headphones, which have this kind of rounded case, which can be a little tricky to fit sometimes. And then I have my alpaca admin pouch with some EDC and tech items. And then I have a packable rain jacket. I have the Air Tech pouch, which has been one of my go-tos a lot as of late. And then I was also able to fit my Levitate portable standing desk. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. Because of the simpler layout, even though it's only 15 liters, it can be deceptively spacious. So I would be able to use this for a short trip. If I wanted to toss in my packing cube and a dop kit, I could squeeze that in there. And then beyond that, on the back, you have a padded laptop sleeve. It has this really nice Velcro strap to help keep it in place. And then it's a neoprene sleeve, so it's really soft and elastic, similar to the material and style that you'll see in their Daily Bag 3.0, which has one of the best laptop implementations that I've seen across any bag. This one isn't quite at that level. It's simpler in general, which makes sense with the style of the bag. So that one, you can pull it from the side. You can adjust it to different device sizes. This is very much just the sleeve itself, which feels really high quality, soft. It's not maybe as rigid as I would like to see from some laptop sleeves, but it is pulled up properly off the bottom of the ground, which is nice. So it's going to be protected if you happen to place your device down a little bit harder. And currently what I have in here is a 14-inch MacBook Pro, which fits in there comfortably. You have a little bit of leftover space, so should maybe be able to squeeze a 15 or 16-inch MacBook Pro. That might start to feel a little tight, but I think it should be okay. And so pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. The neoprene here does feel like it offers some protection against scratching. The back is just the regular internal liner for the bag. And it does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, you should be able to fit it in there pretty comfortably. There's also some give with the sleeve itself. And then a nice touch is that there's a little bit of Velcro here that allows you to actually place this strap there if you prefer not to use it, to make it easier to get your device in and out. So again, thoughtful design touches from Minaal. It still feels like my device is going to be well protected, with having the suspended and the nice material. While we're on the back, you also see Minaal's logo just subtly placed on the inside. You have a couple of attachment points that may pair with some of the other accessories that Minaal has as part of their ecosystem. And then the last thing I'll mention on the inside is you do have additional organization, one zippered pocket on each side. It doesn't go all the way down, but offers, again, good amount of space for any smaller things that you don't want falling to the bottom that aren't in a pouch that you want to be accessing a little bit more regularly. So in one of them, I just have a nail clipper set in this pocket here. You also have a little lanyard with a clip, so a good spot for your keys or maybe your multi-tool, similar style to what's in Minaal's other bags. I did find this a little tricky to use because the lanyard is kind of short, and the placement here, also having the lanyard at the bottom of the pocket, was an interesting choice. Generally you'll find them maybe anchored near the top of the zipper, so it made it a little trickier to use, at least for me. And then on the other side, similarly sized pocket, which again has enough volume to hold something like my GoPro, which is what I would probably carry there, just given the space, but also maybe a portable battery, larger mouse, charging cables. So just giving you some options to kind of just fit your items into without going overboard, which is what Minaal does really, really well. And so, again, although roll top style bags is not, generally my preferred style of bag, I think that the way that this was implemented works pretty well. Again, with having this zipper along the front, so you can kind of open this up to have easy visibility into the full volume of the bag. And then with how smoothly the magnetic buckle works if you're using it as a roll top. Good implementation. I really like the minimal but thoughtful organization that's provided, both on the inside and on the front. And so, yeah, if you're a fan of Minaal's style, of the quality of their bags, and you're looking for something, pretty sleek, that's gonna keep things simple, offer a good build quality, and that's gonna be great for just going about your day-to-day, then this is gonna be a really interesting option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty good experience testing out the Minaal Rolltop bag over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company's site for around $250, so definitely a bit of an investment. Minaal's bags do tend to come in at a pretty premium price point. They're very solidly built and they have unique, interesting, well-designed products, but there's gonna be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Minaal Daily Bag 3.0, which is a pretty legendary everyday carry bag. Comes in at around 20 to 21 liters, so just a really solid capacity. It's got a clamshell style opening so it can hold an impressive amount. and it has an excellent laptop compartment. I talk about it a lot on the channel because it's adjustable, it's suspended on all sides. It just really feels like your device is very, very well protected in the Minaal daily bags laptop area. It's got a pretty simple organizational layout, just a couple of quick access pockets, really similar harness system to this. You can hide the straps away. It's got a handle so you can carry it in briefcase mode, and just a really cool minimal style. That's definitely the type of bag that I tend to gravitate towards. If you were gonna pick a bag from Minaal's lineup, that's probably the one that I would recommend. You know, if you're considering between these two and you're not crazy about the roll top necessarily, and you have maybe a little bit of a higher budget, I definitely recommend you take a look at that one. Another bag this made me think of is the updated version of the Modern Dayfarer backpack, which has a really sleek, modern aesthetic. It's not a roll top bag, but it is a top-loading bag with an adjustable volume. It also opens up fully flat, so it's gonna be very easy to load it out. Super flexible, it's got a nice, simple organizational layout, a dedicated, well-padded and suspended laptop compartment, comfortable harness system. It also has some nice bonuses like a luggage pass-through. It's got a water bottle pocket. It's got a separate compartment for your shoes, so it's got some additional bells and whistles, not quite as minimal as this one, but if you're looking for something durable that's gonna have a pretty professional aesthetic, that's gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Track Bannock backpack, which is a really cool heritage aesthetic, very solidly built. It's got a very premium feeling wax canvas material. It's a top loading bag. It's got, you know, that rucksack style adjustability, very reliable. It's got a well padded laptop sleeve, couple of external water bottle pockets, you know, really simple organizational layout and just a very classic vibe, which I've always been a big fan of. It's gonna patina nicely, you know, really durable buckles. And so, you know, not quite the same aesthetic as the roll top, but, you know, just really flexible, useful. It's got, you know, a nice balance of functionality, but not going overboard. So it still tries to be a little bit more minimal like this bag here. And so if you prefer that sort of an aesthetic or you just want some additional organization, then that's gonna be a great option to take a look at. With that being said, the Minaal Rolltop bag holds up pretty well against all those options. And although it's not my preferred style of bag, if you're in the market for a roll top style bag that's gonna have a pretty sleek, minimal aesthetic, that's gonna be a little smaller and still offer a great build quality and pretty good laptop protection and comfort, then this is gonna be an interesting option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of Minaal's roll top bag and how it compares to some of the other popular roll tops and work and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Minaal for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.